Obviously, when you're applying for a loan, Jason, we got to have proof of employment, but employment is kind of a big term. What do you look for with someone's income and employment?
So some of it will depend largely on the loan program, but as part of the application, you're going to need to complete at least a 2-year work history.
Okay.
If you don't have that because maybe you were in school or some other endeavor that you were engaged in,
Yeah.
there can be exceptions to that. But generally speaking, you're going to need to have a 2-year history. If you're planning on using any sort of like commissions, bonus, overtime, you still have to have a 2-year history of that.
Okay.
You can't just start at an employer and say, hey, I'm receiving overtime now or a bonus and I'm going to be able to use that to qualify. You have to have a 2-year history of that. You are able in some cases to use, if you get like an allowance for like a vehicle. So I know a lot of like some construction companies and things like that, you're allowed to use that. But again, you have to have a history of it. It's going to depend on the loan program, the length of that.
Okay.
And then with regards to just some of the specifics, I know one of the big things that's out there a lot is a lot of lenders do require that you have to work at your job at a certain amount of time, but that's not always necessarily the case. We've done loans where people have been through job changes while we're going through the underwriting process. It's just a matter of documenting it. Again, talking to your loan officer, making sure they understand what your circumstances are so that they can properly structure that and work through it with you to make sure that it's documented and that you transition employers correctly.
Okay.